Okay, and welcome to Hashem's podcast. This evening, we've had a full day today. We went from London and now we're going to Toronto to meet Tanya Chernova, who is a world leading expert in transformational human behavior and the number one best-selling author of UnderMind, recognized as one of Canada's top 100 most powerful women and iconic women leaders of the decade by Women's Global Economic Forum. Tanya has inspired over 2 million people in 60 countries around the world. She works with high performing entrepreneurs, executives, and leadership teams to rewire the subconscious patterns that silently block success. Using the science of neuroplasticity, Tanya helps leaders upgrade how they think, decide, and lead, unlocking strong cultures, 10 times growth, and measurable results. So, anyone who's listening this morning, and we have a lot of people from Australia and obviously Europe, Middle East, and America, you're going to enjoy the next half an hour of us. Welcome to the show, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Mo. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. So we met backstage. Actually, hold
We
on.
did.
We met before we went backstage. I saw you the day before the TED Talk. It was
That's right.
rehearsals, and you were sitting right in the middle with a fantastic scientist, I think it was, from I think it was from India,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
we
he's
had
from
a.
India, but he's in Australia, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, an Australian from India originally, and he had some interesting things to say at the beginning. And then I started speaking to you, and you had your book in your lap, and you started telling me about your fantastic work. And then we spoke about Bessel van der Kolk's book that I use a lot, The Body Keeps the Score, in my work. And then you started talking about your fantastic book, and I couldn't wait for your TED Talk. It took hours and hours and hours of us
It did.
waiting. It was a long day, but I remember sitting in the audience watching your fantastic TED talk, and it blew everyone's mind away. The charisma, the
Mhm.
passion, the knowledge, and all the things that go with being a fantastic speaker. So tell our audience this morning in Australia and this evening in the Middle East how it all began for you, your fabulous career.
Oh my goodness. I think that I wanted to be a speaker. It's an interesting career, right? A speaker. Like when my mother thought that I wanted to be a speaker, a speaker, what is this? You are moving air with your mouth. You are not even playing the piano, right? Like she couldn't understand how I thought this was going to be a career. But, she was one of my first inspirations and took me to a lot of different women's empowerment events and all kinds of leadership things when I was younger, always pushing me forward. And every single time I saw a woman up there, I swear to you, there was a little voice inside my heart that just said, that's going to be you. And I think that it's so fascinating because it's such an important skill. Like you teach, the expansion of the voice. Everything hinges on our ability to communicate. And so when I was younger, I went actually to the speaking school for the Dale Carnegie's public speaking school because I thought if to be a public speaker, all you have to do is have the will. But that's like saying to be a great chef, you just need the will. You really need the skill. And so when I flopped completely in university, when I was doing my first public speaking forays, thinking that I had, the answers to the new world of business and everything else, it occurred to me that I didn't know how to manage my self-regulation. Like I didn't know how to manage my fear, which automatically came up no matter what. I didn't realize that that was something that I had. So I went to the Dale Carnegie Public Speaking School and came out, I guess, a speaker and then started applying it. And at that point, I'd already been, in a career in the beauty and wellness industry because I started so young. But in terms of how I started really working with people, I had to go through my own transformation first. I think what happens is this is very much like the hero's journey to be a speaker out there, especially one that's like coaching and helping other people break through in their success. You have to really come through your own darkness and see the light and think, oh no, I have to take other people on this journey. This is the
Yeah, definitely.
most fulfilling journey of all time,
Yeah.
right? So, mhm.
With public speaking, I teach public speaking university and broadcasting and all that, and I always give the example that if you hop on a plane and the pilot who's going to fly you from Rome to New York stutters and doesn't make sense, he's like, "Hey, you're going to be flying to New York and landing in Not really sure. How would you feel as a passenger? You'd be really, really scared. You need someone confident. And hey, my name is Michael Avery. We'll be flying from Rome. We're landing in JFK Airport. We'll be flying 36,000 miles. It makes a huge difference, and it does
Huge.
require training and breath work and confidence. They say that public speaking is the second biggest fear after death. Everyone's scared of dying, and everybody's scared of getting in front of the audience and talking. You do that for a living. So tell us about your best-selling number one book that you had in your lap when I met you at the TED Talk in Cairo.
So, the name of that book is called UnderMind, and it is all about helping people discover the seven subconscious beliefs that sabotage their life and how to overcome them. And these are seven sabotaging beliefs that we all essentially struggle with. And I co-wrote that book, I should be clear, with my phenomenal partner, Joanna Andros, who is a therapist actually, and the founder of Progressive Neural Resolution Therapy, which is a therapy we talk about in the book as well. And it's something that we've, created a certification program for as well for other therapists to take. So it's now a school as well. So that particular book is a huge breakthrough because we think about a lot of the negative inner chatter that we have, the negative inner self-talk. And out of the thousands of conversations that we might have rolling through our mind, they all stem from only seven subconscious negative beliefs that limit our success, but not just our success in terms of, goals that we're achieving. It's actually success as we define it is limiting our joy per minute, which is our JPM. And that's what I talked a little bit about on the TED stage, which is moving out of RPM, going further, faster, harder, more of the same, that drive that sometimes propels us when we're in the conversation of I'm not enough. And as much as these inner conversations are helpful sometimes to motivate us to move further, faster, harder, they're not sustainable for joy per minute, which is really my big platform now, I have to say, Mo, is that, at this stage in my life, what I really want to do for people, whether I'm teaching culture health in an organization, whether I'm helping a leader break through to their next level, it's like whole life success is non-negotiable. It has to be joy per minute as one of the key foundational KPIs in our life.
So can we just go back for a second? Can we break that down? So what are there were two main concepts there. So can we give an example to our wonderful audience? If someone comes to you and say they are a professional surgeon, and they come to you, so how would you apply those two principles to a surgeon that needs to go into meetings and boardroom meetings and talk to people in public and give, the presentation of their work? How would you apply that?
Right. And whether the surgeon is doing something that he's, working on in the surgery or in a boardroom, whatever it is, it's like the subconscious beliefs apply to every single level of our life. So I'll give you an example. Okay. So I actually have a surgeon in my in-laws who's an amazing man. So, you know, when we think about actually helping, actually, I'll take a different example. So when I think about helping one of the surgeons that I've worked with before, is that he started off in school, and of course his parents had, expectations. He had expectations of himself. And no matter what it was when he brought those marks home, it was just like, go faster, go harder, because he knew he wanted to be a surgeon early on. And you have to have stellar marks in that category. And so when he was younger, no matter what, one of his patterns that he's actually experienced is burnout because he just keeps pushing himself further and further, harder and harder, faster and faster. And so when he finally graduated as a surgeon, the problem with it was that he was taking on more and more. He was taking on not just surgery, he was taking on board work, he was taking on mentoring younger students, he was taking on these things. And at the foundation of it, when we went below the surface, it actually hinged on this belief system that he had called "it's never enough." Because I asked him, like, when is it enough? He doesn't see his family. His children are grown up without him. His wife is one of those surgical widows, right? Because he's all in on the work. And when we talk about joy per minute, it's like, really, what is going to make you feel so satisfied at the end of your life, even throughout your life? And the reality is that the belief system of "it's never enough" made him an excellent student, made him a phenomenal colleague, made him a person that was capable beyond all consideration, but it made him burnout and it made him miserable. And it also affected his family in a negative way. And so when we had to rewire that belief that it's never enough, and he, like rewired his mind is in it's now his thinking is life is a gift, right? It doesn't even have to go into the opposite direction of it's not enough. It's like I am enough and I am leaving a legacy, right? Like you have to start looking at your life differently. So here, I'll give you an example. If you actually woke up every morning and thought to yourself as a core underlying subconscious belief, it's not enough. You're going to start seeing that no matter what you look at in your day, you think I should be doing more. I should be doing more faster. I should be doing more. And at the end of the day, I can't even see what my accomplishments were because I think I should be doing more. And someone gives you a compliment and says, wow, good for you. Oh no, that's nothing. I could be doing so much more, right? Ask yourself, how much joy per minute is that person
Well,
experiencing?
hold on. Let's stop for a second because that's really important. Because I was talking to a friend of mine about that the other day. Isn't that something to be happy about? The fact that because I think there's two types of people. There's people that don't do anything and that they act like they've done everything. They're so confident and so unaware of you know how much they don't do. And then there's people that do a lot and then they forget they've done things. They want to do more. So you're saying that's unhealthy?
I'm just saying that there's always, when we talk about getting work-life balance, it's actually about mindset balance
Yeah.
because our we think, okay, here's the result that I want in my life. What drives my result is my behavior. But what drives my behavior is my mindset, right? My thoughts drive my behavior. And a lot
Interesting.
of coaches, they work on behavioral management. Do this, don't do that, like adjust the doing part of it. But we have to get to the being part of it. It's like I have to be enough in order for me to feel satisfied with my accomplishments deep down. So we automatically, this is actually a very typical thing to think, right? A lot of people who are very driven think if I start thinking that I'm enough, then I'm going to sit back and be lazy. Not at all. The difference is that so if you look at your life and say it's not enough, right? You get a certain level of dissatisfaction, which might drive you. Okay. But you could say something different. You could say, I'm building a legacy, or I'm creating an amazing succession plan, for someone else to take over, or I'm empowering others. I'm empowering leaders, right? At least then when I look at I look at through that lens, then everything looks more fulfilling to me than rather than it's not enough.
Does that have anything to do with imposter syndrome? Or is that something different? People that,
Definitely. No, that's exactly how imposter syndrome works. Exactly. What imposter syndrome is the gap, it's the chasm, it's the deficit between so people look like you read all of those wonderful things, awarded this, awarded that. There's so many awards that we weren't even listed. There's so many accomplishments because I came from that place of not enoughness. And so it's just automatically I'm drawn towards now it's different. Of course, I've done a lot of work on myself to like rewire and reshape my beliefs. So I come at it from a place of abundance instead of scarcity. But a lot of people who are like high achievers, it's because they're driven by not enough. And then they get to a point where, like you said, they don't even remember what they did. It feels inconsequential. It feels like it doesn't matter. It's never enough, right?
all
And
right,
so
well,
ultimately you get stuck in this place. But what I'm saying is that there is a way. It's not about whether I do enough or I don't enough. There's a way of actually seeing the value in the work that we do and getting the joy and fulfillment from it while still striving for more.
and
And at the
it won't impact our efficiency for the next project or the next great thing in our life.
It makes it more efficient because if I'm willing to see what I'm doing right, I can repeat the things I'm doing right. But if I'm willing to think, oh, none of this is working, I'm always reinventing the wheel. People are often starting over or repeating patterns in their life. Like, so for another example, because I deal a lot with entrepreneurs, is this thought, this belief system that says, if I want something done right, I have to do it myself. That's going to definitely get you to, let's say, maximum $1 million, okay,
Yeah.
in revenue if
But
you're actually building
it's
a
also
business.
Micromanagement is part of that, isn't it? The micromanagers out there that like to do every single thing on their own and monitor every single thing every single second, they get to a certain limit and they can't go any further, can they? As opposed to the macro managers who, give out work and delegate ideas and stuff like that. Is that right?
Absolutely. No, but that's because foundationally, but like this micromanaging is a behavior, like it's a hovering over. But if you think about the mindset underneath it is I can't trust. I can't trust. So if you can't trust, imagine how your employee feels when your manager doesn't trust you. They feel disempowered. They feel disengaged. 67% of the workforce today says that they are fully disengaged from work and they're coming in literally going through the motions. And so ultimately, when you have a micromanager who's sitting there thinking, I can't trust people to do the important things, then that person is disengaged. So when they do pass off some delegation, that individual is not, they also don't teach with vision or values or empowerment. They don't do any of those things. They basically just take the work away and try to fix it or correct it. And that really demotivates people. And then, of course, it
Oh,
makes them
so
feel like
important.
they can't, you know, show their best effort.
That's so important. And anyone who's listening out there, we have a lot of audience on our mailing list listening. This applies to any career, whether you're a mechanic, a media
Totally.
person, a professor, a doctor, an aircraft engineer, because we've all worked with the micromanager. We all know the boss or the manager that makes us feel unworthy, ungrateful for what we've
Mhm.
done. So this is fantastic advice. Now, I want to give a shout out to Noy Shani, and Noy Shani is a fantastic man in this field also, and I'll definitely get you two in touch, and I'll send him the link if he's not listening, but he might be. Also, Sadiq Love. Sadiq Love, I worked with him 15 years ago. He's a fantastic speaker. Also, you can look him up. He's got a fantastic book called Speak for a Living. So we're going to find a way to connect all this together. So let's go to the beginning again of where this comes from. So you mentioned a few times foundational. I came from that mindset. So where
From
does that
that
mindset?
mindset,
Yeah,
I have
childhood.
something like I have to say that, when you come from a mindset, it is one of the most difficult things to reshape, right? Alvin Toffler, the great futurist, really says, and this is, I think, used a lot because of AI right now, is that, the future, the illiterate of the future is not going to be someone who can't read and write, but someone who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I am telling you, I am working so hard to relearn and unlearn some of the things that I was brought up with because I was born in Moscow and I had, a very like tough mother. Every single Eastern Soviet, post-Soviet, whatever it is, like Eastern Bloc, anyone who's raised in the Eastern Bloc, let me tell you something. We all have it in common that you are raised ultimately not enough. You can do better because it is even just like the way that our North American standards are. I come to Canada and the US. Oh, just try your best. No, my house, be the best, be the best, the best. Are you the best? I got that award for top 100 most powerful women in Canada. My God, the biggest honor our country has for women in terms of awards. My mother actually called me and said, "Where are you on the list, honey? Are you upper or lower on the list?" I was ready to literally kill her. So
Mhm.
that's the problem is that when we're raised with this mindset that's constantly shaping
Sorry,
the way we see
is that
ourselves and
mindset trying to make us better, or is it trying to clip us and put us down? Is
the
it
mindset,
it's in
it's
Australia we call it the tall poppy syndrome, where all the poppies are growing. You can't let one poppy grow more than the others. So you need to snip it and keep it all at one level. And I think that comes from, I think it stems from communism, socialism. It comes from, I mean, if you look at sociology, it comes from the working class backgrounds where you need the gang to hang together to stay together. If one
mm,
becomes a little bit better and takes off, the gang gets weaker and falls apart. We need the gang. So that
is
could all
that,
be
I
factors.
read tall poppy syndrome and I thought to myself, that is so unique. Like I've never heard of it that way because the way that we think is this, is that you're all part of a community. Whenever you have one that grows taller than the other, you lift as you climb. Because I've always, like one of my greatest mottos is lift as you rise. So that's why I have mentorship for women's empowerment. I
It's
have so many
fabulous.
people that like young leadership academies, like all those kinds of things. But this notion that all of a sudden that if someone does better than the rest of us, that the rest of us are unsafe, That's one way of looking at it. The other way truly is to recognize that we are, you know, we are the highest common denominator, not the lowest common denominator in our group, you know.
Yeah. So with the again the beginning of the foundation of how this happens. So it's childhood, it's parents, it's messaging from
It's
family.
childhood, it's parenting, and it's defining moments. So this in this book, there's actually 7 stages to creating your blueprint of self-sabotage. We think, oh, self-sabotage, which is ultimately the niche area that I dwell in, is helping people break through self-sabotage and understanding where the limitation is in their thinking so they can then unlearn and relearn something new. And we often think, oh, like procrastination or self-doubt, that's self-sabotage. You know, it's actually 7 stages. So the very first stage is a defining moment. Something happens in our life, and whether it's a one-time event or a repetition, because we actually learn only through 2 ways, Mo. We learn, because whatever fires together wires together on a neuronal basis, right? And when we have a defining moment and something traumatic or something amazing, like the first time you were on a roller coaster and you didn't throw up, the first time you had a kiss, you're like, oh my God, it's etched forever. You still remember every little bit, right? But whether it's a trauma or like a positive defining moment, in that moment, our mind makes a decision about ourselves, others, and the world. And then once we make that decision, it creates a filter of perception. And this is the way I see myself. It creates my self concept and my concept of the world. Like, am I safe? Are others safe? Do I live in an okay environment? Right. So ultimately, what ends up happening is that when we create that decision and create that perception is a meaning making machine. Every single time something happens, it's constantly talking to you because it creates a part, literally a part of your brain that starts telling you, and it protects you from repeating the trauma. So let's say if this is a traumatic event, okay? So let's say something really benign, ultimately super benign. You are in class, you raise your hand, you think you know the answer, you say the answer, everybody laughs at you. You decide, I am never speaking up again. In that moment, that's the decision. I'm not speaking up. It's not safe. Other people are cruel. Life is not fair, right? Others, self, and the world. And that perception follows you all the way through university, where you sit there thinking, I really want to say something, but there's a part of you, a neuronal part of you that's already created a little personality
I
that
was like
says
that. I was like
neg
that at
negative
school
inner chatter.
and
Was it?
university at the beginning, yeah. And it took a university professor called Kim, God bless him, actually. I think in my third year to just
Mm.
he actually chased me in the around campus. I had a photography assignment to hand up, and I just never used to hand it up. I used to just make excuses, procrastinate, just worried about the feedback and criticism by the others. And he actually left class, looked for me, and found me having a smoke around the corner in the car. He said, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm coming." He said, "No, you weren't coming, were you? You weren't going to hand up your assignment." Well, I was. He's like, "No, you weren't." And then I just stood there and I just, for me, it was like, oh, he cares about me. He's listening. He cares, even though he was screaming. And then he just said, when? When are you going to get it done? When? And then that to me was like, wow, now I'm going to get it done now. I don't care. For me, just something happened. And then I haven't stopped ever since. It's an amazing awakening for me.
I love that you said the word awakening because that's exactly what it takes, right? It takes, most people think that the first step to change is awareness. But before there's awareness, there has to be an awakening. You have to realize, oh my God, what I'm doing is not working. And so, just like that little part, constantly, like you had something to hand in, but there was inevitably a little voice inside your head saying, do it tomorrow. It's okay. It's not good enough. Just wait. Maybe work on it a little harder. But that little part is actually talking to us. And that part has been created in our mind to prevent us from getting hurt again, to prevent us from getting laughed at again. So, but what it's doing in its protection is actually sabotaging our success because that creates a pattern that strategy creates a pattern, and that pattern creates our results. And so that's where I'm telling you that I have people in my public speaking classes or any of my classes, leadership, that don't say anything. And I'm like, what is the issue? But that's because that one example where they were like riddled with shame at some point in their earlier life has kept them quiet. We don't even have to be the person. We can just watch someone else do it. And you're like, oh God, look, I'm never going to do what's happening to them. Forget it.
Yeah. What about, let's talk about a little bit some psychological terms. So things like narcissism, megalomaniac, all
Mm.
these terms. Do they relate to the things that you're talking about? So the
Yeah.
narcissist, what I've sort of studied in narcissism, we all thought narcissism was the guy or the girl that walks into the club, the loudest person, the show off, and it actually wasn't the case. When I studied it, there was two types of narcissists. There's the big self and then the small self. So there is the person that comes in the room and acts all, the strongest, the loudest, blah blah blah. And there's also the person that hides and goes into their small self and doesn't talk much and doesn't relate much. But in both cases, they're doing that to gain control of the room, gain control of the people. So the person that's in their small self is trying to get attention. What's wrong? Why are you quiet for? And the other one's obviously trying to get praise and attention also. And then I did more research and I found that from the beginning it also comes from the upbringing, the childhood where they were abandoned by their mum. So their mum made them feel they're not good enough emotionally. So
Yeah.
they got rejected by their mum emotionally. Some say, no, no, my mum spoiled me. She bought me everything. No, no, it's not about material. It's not about buying you stuff. Emotional abandonment or rejection makes you feel unworthy for the rest of your life until they obviously meet someone like yourself and that can help them. So whatever they do is not good enough because they have this inner deep feeling that they're not good enough. And then some of the ones that like to sabotage are sabotaging because they want to return back to the initial state of not feeling good. It's inside of them. So they self-sabotage to go back to what they believe they are, which is not good enough. And they feel satisfied. I've seen people self-sabotage projects, and I even though they're going to benefit from the project,
Yeah.
and as soon as they destroy it and burn it, they're so happy. And I could never understand why are you happy? Because they're returning back to their self of I'm not good
To the
enough.
to the comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really
Because
scary. So yeah,
we have to live in alignment, right? And we have to live in alignment. We have to live in alignment with our self-concept. So if I act a certain way, but deep down I think that I'm not worthy, my bank account will reflect that, right? So, or my love life will reflect that, or my ability to take care of myself, my health will reflect that. I'm not worthy is anything that you can receive from others, whether it's praise, whether it's money, whether it's even giving to yourself and
and love.
prioritizing.
Yeah,
Yes, of course, exactly. But narcissists are extremely self-protective because what is a narcissist? A narcissist makes you feel like you're not enough so that you'll never leave them because they were so abandoned by their own home environment, right?
yeah. They're
And
only
so that's what
dependent
that
on them,
manipulation and control is.
on dependent on their whatever they give you.
Crumbs.
Amazing. So I know we've taken up a lot of your time, and I know you're very busy. It's taken 3 weeks to get you to come in and be on our show. So we got to get the most of you, Tanya.
I feel
Just
so blessed, honestly, Mo. I just have to tell you that when I first met you, I think it was during the recital or whatever. It was like during the actual like viewing of the stage.
yeah,
And I feel like it was such a magical moment for all of us because it was this experience that you go through. It's almost like a graduating class of TEDx Cairo,
it was.
Cairo at
Yeah.
Agamo of 2025. Yeah, I just really want to say that, your talk was really amazing too. And you're such a profound and prolific thinker. And I love what you're doing for your
Oh,
audiences and for the people in your community. You are a man who loves to nourish, and that's great. I always say that in order to flourish, we need to nourish, and you're doing a great job feeding people that really look up to you.
thank you, Tanya. I'm shy now. I can't continue the podcast.
It's better.
Okay, so just before you go, so what do? You travel the world. Every time I speak to you, you're in a different country, a different time zone. So how does it work? And how do people find you? How do people find your website, find your work, and contact you?
People can find me on tanyachernova.com, Tanya Chernova.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as well, and I'm on all the socials and all the platforms and things like that. But most of the things I do are actually private bookings, like they're for private companies. So they're not public necessarily, but my new women's empowerment course is starting in again in 2027. So I'll definitely give you all of the ins and outs for that because it's one of the best personal development programs for professional women out there. And, in general, I think that in this day and age, when we see that there's something, when we get the awakening and think, you know what, there's something going on, and I think it's the way that I'm looking at it rather than it is happening to me. We have to think, oh my gosh, I am literally creating the life of that I have with the thoughts I'm thinking right now. At
Yes.
any given point, I can choose to change it. I can choose to change the nature of my thought, and then my life will start to look differently. That's one of the biggest, I think, sources of empowerment we have is the power to choose.
It's fabulous. There's a fantastic movie, Natty. We've spoken about Awakening a few times. There's a film called Awakening, actually, with Robert De
Mhm.
Niro and Robin Williams.
That's true.
And yeah, it's a film about people that are in an institution and they're sort of sleeping the whole day. And eventually they just wake up one night. And there's a beautiful scene with Robert De Niro when he finally wakes up and sees the world and smells the roses and the flowers. And he looks at Robert De Niro and Robin Williams and says, "We need to tell everyone how beautiful life is, how amazing everything is. We need to enjoy everything around us because he's been sleeping for so long." And to him, the smallest things were making him happy. The smell of coffee, the television, the sound of people laughing. And then eventually it was a very sad ending. They ended up going back to sleep. So it really is an awakening. Your work is an awakening, it's awakening a lot of people and changing people's lives, making them enjoy the small pleasures of life also, and that creates the biggest success. Thank you so much for your amazing time, Tanya.
Great to see you.
I'll send the link also of your work on the podcast here. We're absolutely so happy to have you here, and we'll hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you again soon in either Egypt or Cairo.
Thank you. Or Australia, because I'll be in Australia soon, and Noise from New Zealand. So
Oh, yes,
we need to
exactly.
make
That's what I meant to say.
that
Australia or
connection.
New Zealand. That's fun.
That's it. So you've been listening to Hashem's podcast. We've been talking to Tanya Chernova, the amazing world speaker, and let's see each other soon. Bye, everyone.